let's get some light in here. All right, I'm going to do another live recording of Ho. Just why not? Get them live minutes to go. I've been studying this book called Pendulum Power. I'm about halfway through. And yeah, I'm going to start chapter 9, the pendulum door to the infinite. Start that. So today, when I saw on some of the tarot spreads that I've hoarded, I found one that was about a pendulum. And I thought, this is what we'll do for Tarot Tuesday, Tuesday Tarot on Ho. It's a tarot spread for dowsing, connecting to your pendulum by Emerald Lotus Divination. And I actually have 2 pendulums. So I thought, geez, well, which one do I want to do? Because, like, it's like card to represent this pendulum's energy, something to learn about the pendulum. So I might just do 2 cards for this pendulum, 2 cards for that pendulum, and then do a combined, like, general 3rd and 4th question, how to deepen my connection to the pendulums, and how can I improve my intuitive abilities. So this is the tarot spread that I'm going to be doing a podcast on for Herb Oracle, aka Ho. And you're more than welcome to hang out, pop in, say hello, if you're catching it live. All right, let's see here. So, yeah, I have this pendulum that I received as a gift from Osceola the Oracle. It's a green adventurine on like a copper string. So I have this, and it's round, really pretty cool. And so I have that pendulum that I've been gravitating towards. But then, and then I was like kind of wondering, like, that's why this spread was kind of cool, like, represent the pendulum's energy. And then that made me wonder, like, maybe that's why I gravitate towards that one more so than this newer one that I got. But it's pretty cool too. It's kind of like a granite stone, black and white with a silver string, and it's got that, like, I don't know, popular pendulum shape. So anyways, I have 2, and I thought instead of choosing like which one I liked best, like I would just do a card for each of them to kind of find out each pendulum's energy, and just go from there, I guess. I don't know if this one will stay put or not. It's kind of rolly, you guys. And then also in this bag, I have this handheld wooden pendulum sign that was I thought was kind of cool. But like, now that I know how the pendulums talk a little bit more, they're pretty good about sticking with their clockwise for yes and counterclockwise for no. But also, this is kind of a palm thing that you can use, and I have a bigger version of this as well. So anyways, we'll just put that out there for fun. Got a big old honking glare. Oh, I don't even think that's from that. I don't know. Let's see here. That be better? All right. So anyways, this is just my live stream of me recording. I'm going to like have my phone set up in this stand, and I will be doing a podcast for Ho, which I'll publish the clean version later. For our herb of the week, oregano. That's pretty fun this week. As fun as oregano can get. But yeah, this is a tarot spread for dowsing, connecting to your pendulum. And this spread is by Emerald Lotus Divination. And I will be publishing or reposting, I guess is probably more accurate, on Instagram. I have an account there that I literally just hoard tarot spreads, and it's called Tarot Spread Layout. So if you go to Instagram and type in Tarot Spread Layout, you'll find me there. It's just like a black and white picture for a profile. It says Tarot Spread Layout. I have 2,178 followers on this Instagram that I literally just started for shits and giggles. And all I do is hoard tarot spreads, just hoarding tarot spreads. And then I have a link, Tarot Tuesday at Herb Oracle, and then a link to my podcast. But anyways, I haven't posted any new spreads since like the beginning of December. So I'm gonna post 3 tonight. And anyways, if you do tarot, check it out because I'm pretty sure you'd find something that you like there. So you gotta always love like, okay, so like Herb Oracle, I retired that Instagram account. It only ever got to 426 followers. Like that was as good as I could do. Started Tarot Spread Layout, like I said, literally just to like collect my favorite tarot spreads or the ones I wanted to do someday. And it has well over 2,000 people now following it. But it's a cool page. So I'm going to update it later. Also going to add this podcast to Herb Oracle later to the playlist here. So thanks for everybody who's been connecting with me. And I'm going to open up Anchor and get started on this tarot spread. It's a 4-card spread. So if you by chance want to grab your tarot deck now, you can do this along with me. Whew. All right. I think I need some water and then I'm about ready to get started. All right, got my water, getting ready to do the tarot spread. Good day, and it's actually Tuesday, and I'm actually going to do a tarot spread on Tuesday. I'm so proud of myself. All right, let us see here. I uploaded Dan's Scran already? Just on a roll. Just on a freaking roll today. Uploaded Dan's Scran already? That's me talking to myself. Just gonna type in the chat if anybody wants to say hello while I'm doing this. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for saying hi. All right. Okay, so here we go. That looks fairly decent. I'll maybe move my laptop out of the way a bit. Okay. Hope everybody's having a good day. I'm going to be using the Herb Crafters Tarot as a deck. All right, new episode. Getting my intro for Ho uploaded. And here we go. Hey y'all, it's Tarot Tuesday, Tarot. And it's actually freaking Tuesday and I'm so proud of myself. And I found like the most perfect tarot spread for me today. I don't know if it's going to be the most perfect one for you. Maybe not today, but someday. So I was scrolling through. Okay, you know, my fellow iPhone users, you know how we have that hidden folder? Oh, you don't know that you have a hidden folder? You can make a hidden folder and hide pictures in there. And most people just use them to hide their dirty, sexy pictures. But me, I'm using mine to hold screenshots of tarot spreads that I would like to do someday. Yeah, baby. So anyways, as I'm looking in there, I find this spread called Tarot Spread for Dowsing. It's called Connecting to Your Pendulum. And it's by Emerald Lotus Divination. And I thought that is freaking perfect because I have 2 pendulums now. One that my bestie Osiel the Oracle sent me, and then another one that I found at Miller's Treasures in Brookville, Pennsylvania. And it's a black and white kind of granite looking thing. I haven't really connected with it as much as the green adventuring one that my friend Osiel the Oracle has sent me. And that thing's pretty. It's like round and it's on a copper chain and it's like, dang, yo. So, okay, so I was like, cool, connecting to your pendulum. That's awesome because I have 2. Well, I'm looking at the questions, and this is a 4-card spread. So if you want to get your decks out and pull along with me, pull along with me. The first one says card to represent this pendulum's energy. Well, then, of course, I'm like, oh, snap, I got to pick which pendulum I want to do. And then it didn't take me long to counter that by saying, why don't you do a card for each? We'll split that up. A card to represent this green Adventurine's pendulum energy, and then the black and white Granite. I could do both. I don't have to pick. I don't have to choose children here. I can do both. So we're going to pull more than 4 cards here today at Ho. But that's the first question. A card to represent is pendulum's energy. Well, on a side note, that was really interesting to me because, like I'm drawn to the one more than the other. And I was like, well, oh my gosh, so pendulums each on their own have different energy? Well, that makes sense because I'm sort of connecting them with this one more than the other. And then the second question is something to learn about the pendulum. So we could maybe combine that one, but I'll probably pull a card for each of them on each side. We'll do this green adventuring one on the left, and we'll keep the Granite black and white one on the right. So I'm going to do like each give them each their own 1 and 2 cards. And then maybe question 3 and 4, we can just do general because they're more about us than the pendulums. The third question is how to deepen my connection to the pendulum. So that could be a general question, I feel like. And then number 4 is how can I improve my intuitive abilities? Of course, I just think practicing with a pendulum is going to do that. Now, if you follow me, you may have seen me post somewhere this new, and I put quotes around new book because I think that the copyright is 1977. And then they maybe like reprinted it again in 87. So this is an older book. It's called Pendulum Power. This is my new book from 1977, Pendulum Power, a mystery you can see, a power you can feel. It's by Greg Nielsen and Joseph Polanski. And I'm getting ready to start chapter 9, but it's been a great book for me to get to know the pendulum. Like, first of all, to understand it's a science more than anything. It really is just electromagnetic energy. And to train my pendulum and also train my subconscious mind, this book has really been helpful for. So now that I work with the pendulums, counterclockwise is no and clockwise is yes. So if it's a more positive answer, it's going to be going clockwise, more negative responses going counterclockwise. But there was some really great things in this book and some history and just some pretty cool tidbits. So yeah, pendulums have been used for forever. Some people have just tied a ring around a string, a button, a needle, and a cork, and crystal. There's all kinds of pendulums. And this book also showed me how to, on a piece of paper, write down, here it is on page 37. Like you do a vertical arrow and a horizontal arrow, and then a clockwise circle and a counterclockwise circle. And you set these symbols are for setting up pendulum communication. So you take a week or so when you first work with a pendulum, and you train it and you train yourself. I feel like as soon as you get yourself trained, then you can just jump into any pendulum. But hey, I'm only halfway through the book, so I'll get back to that later. All right, Tarot Tuesday Tarot. Thanks for hanging out at Ho. Tarot spread for dowsing, connecting to your pendulum. So we're going to dive into this. Thank you, Emerald Lotus Divination, for creating these 4 questions that we're going to work on. And then also, before I get too into the world of pendulums, I just want to shout out our herb of the week, oregano, holy powerfulness. If you didn't think that yesterday's podcast was long enough or nerdy enough, make sure that you check out Herbal Marie, because that bitch already did a oregano podcast. I'm pretty sure 100% because I think I remember calling oregano Ray Gano, like he was my best friend, Ray. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done that podcast. So if you want to get a little more na, be sure to check out Herbal Marie. All right, that's good for our first segment. I'll upload that. What do I want to do? Pendulum. Thank you, autocorrect. Oh my God, I can't spell anything. Anyways, thanks for chiming into my live stream. I've just decided I'm gonna go live if I can while I do my podcast, because why the not? That's right. Why the not? Okay, so now in my podcast, I'm gonna upload the affirmation minute for oregano. I'm just going to upload that. And you'll be able to listen to it later if you listen to the finished product. But just for myself, I want to just review the affirmations, because I don't just like to go through the motions like I do for my own good. And oregano this week wants us to say to ourselves, I am calm and focused. I am free from attachments. Life brings me all that I've ever needed and desired. And that was pretty going with what Daniel Scranton was saying today. If you listen to today's Dan Scran, it was all about jumping timelines, you guys. Woo! Jumping timelines. We don't even know. We can't even imagine the good shit coming our way. I declare my truth loudly and without fear. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. And I remember to sing through my legs. So if you didn't listen to Oregano's podcast yesterday, you should do that. The oregano card, this one always makes me blush. It's about vag steams. And it's all about like really like opening up your throat chakra and your coochie chakra. And then we had this ninja dude yesterday too. Clarity, experience, protection. So that was it. That was also another reason why yesterday was so quick, because I only had 2 cards, unless I'm forgetting one somewhere. I thought maybe the Herbal Tarot would have one, but it did not. Okay. Let's see if my voice holds up. All right, moving on, y'all. Let's get out the deck. Maybe I'll give it a little shuffle. I feel bad sometimes when I take a minute in my podcast to shuffle. And I mean, I do like to shuffle a little bit, but I am a big shuffler. And I feel like we just used this deck. So I want to give it a good maybe tornado spin in my hand. And whenever I say that in podcasts, like this is literally what I'm doing. I'm spinning all my cards like a friggin' tornado in my hand and then cleaning them up. And, giving them a shuffle from there. Hold on, I hear person. I don't want to start recording it because I think I hear a human being in the house. Are you here? Is that you? I'm going to be recording my tarot podcast. Bless you. Hey. What? Was it dirty in there? Why? I just am wondering if you should just get straight in the shower. I can hear you. Okay. Aiden was helping move furniture from a place that just had a fire in it. The mother and me really wanted to tell him to wear a mask, but I didn't. Oh, I hear multiple people. Okay, all right. So I think I want to try to just keep these dudes up here because I feel like that would be good. And then I'll move that card and then there. I'm going to be recording my podcast. I just like to announce that because that means shut up. Like, with so much love. Like, I want to let you know I'm recording my podcast, aka shut up. All right, here we go. All right, so did you grab your deck? Grab your decks, everybody. It's time to give a shuffle and get ready to pull at least 4 cards. So if you only have one pendulum, then by golly, you'll just pull a card for, you know, that pendulum to represent this pendulum's energy. But I have 2 pendulums. And I don't, like, it's not that I don't want to pick. Like, I actually genuinely want to know the energy of each one. Or I'm just curious what the cards would say. So I want to work with each one. So I'm going to start over here on the left with my green adventuring rounded. It's got this metal, it's got this copper like pointy thing on the bottom. Like, it's freaking fancy. It reminds you of like Alibaba, like Alibaba ancient like kind of shape, like that rounded shape. Those buildings that have like a rounded top and like a pointy. I know I'm not doing very good describing it, but it's very cool looking, very genie in a bottle, Aladdin shape. I don't know. And the copper is so sweet. So thank you, Asiel, the Oracle, for sending me this pendulum. I really have connected with it a lot, and I'm excited to learn more about it. Okay, and deepen my connection to both of my pendulums, but this one is going to be specifically for this green adventuring one on the left. A card to represent this pendulum's energy. All right, apple. Apple flew out. It was kind of like this whenever I saw it. So I feel like a lot of times now when cards fly out and they're not reversed and they're not upright, they're freaking on their side. I'm kind of feeling like when this is happening, this is a symbol of being neutral. It's not necessarily, you know, in the positive or the negative. It just kind of is what it is. Now, apple is a card of community, abundance, giving. So that to me, like right away, says that this might be a good pendulum to use when reading other people or for the collective. Yeah, see how I stepped in that? Because like apples are to be shared. There's enough apples for everyone. You know, you can read like the whole apple tree together. So I'm thinking like this pendulum's energy would be like maybe one that like is good for using. Yeah, I think collective energies. I'm gonna look in the guidebook just to kind of like see what else I can learn. But I'm gonna, like I said, question number 1 and question number 2, I'm gonna do for each of my pendulums. So the green adventuring pendulum on the copper string, card to represent this pendulum's energy, I got the 9 of Earth, apple. And then I'm also just going to pull the second one too right now. Something to learn about this pendulum. Something to learn about this pendulum. All right, I got plantain. All right, so once again, what do you think about plantain? For all the people, medicine for anybody. So this definitely feels like a community pendulum, abundant, apples, plantain, like we have plenty of that everywhere, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking like this is something to be shared with people, and yeah, collective energies and good general questions. That's what I'm kind of intuitively feeling. Let me just grab the guidebook. Where is it? Over here. Okay, so 9 of Earth is the apple. And without getting in it too much, because we've pulled this card a million billion times, 9 of Earth apple says, savor the fruit of paradise, peace, and plenty. Celebrate wealth by giving. The hidden star of hope sustains us. So celebrate wealth by giving. So yeah, that's what, if I'm like giving a collective reading or feeling generous, like I want to do pendulum readings for my friends or something like that, I would say this is a good choice. Something to learn about this pendulum. I got the Ace of Water, plantain, which to me confirmed again, like this is for everybody. Plantain is everywhere. Follow your heart. Trust your instincts and intuition. Your capacity for love is limitless. So something to learn about this pendulum. This pendulum wants me to nourish my emotions and trust my feelings. Ooh, so it's like, even though we ask the pendulum questions, it wants us to know that like you yourself are a pendulum. You yourself have this wisdom within you. So make sure that like you might be asking the question to the pendulum, but like you also are very in tune with you. Yeah, I think so. All right, I'm going to move over here to the right side now with this black and white pendulum that I got at Miller's Treasures, and it's on a silver string. And I want to ask my deck a card to represent this black and white granite pendulum's energy. A card to represent this pendulum's energy. And I'm coming up with a reversed cattail, which is the 6 of air. I'm going to have to look this up. I know that I've pulled the cattail before, I think, but I'm not 100%. So the 6 of air, it has like these cattail, it has these feathers and these jars in front of this cattail background. So I guess they're like sitting in a swamp. But this says, okay, so this pendulum's energy, the cattail 6 of air says, question your assumptions, gain clarity through articulating your visions in writing, support others in setting intentions for change. So the only thing that I really got from that immediately was maybe, okay, so this pendulum's energy might be best worked with if I write the question down. Like, not just think about the question and then like ask it over, like a wooden thing, or like this black and white one might be best when I write the question down on paper or have someone's name on paper. Like, be very written about it with the way I use this black and white pendulum. Very specific. Very specific is what I'm getting. Okay, something to learn about this black and white pendulum. Something to learn about this black and white pendulum. Okay, we've got the Magician. Okay, so remember how the cattail also said about like intentions? Okay, I was sort of like wondering where that was going, and now that the Magician card is here, I get that like this black and white pendulum, it's like you really want to start manifesting. You really want to like use this and then not just get your questions answered, but like use it with intention to manifest, to create. This is it. Let's do this. Be serious about it. You got the Magician. Unleash your magic. Radiate power and potency. From one seed, 1,000. So yeah, the sunflower and the Magician card, I would say something to learn about this pendulum. This pendulum is definitely next level stuff. I mean, maybe that's why I'm more connecting with this easier one that's like general and collective and for everyone, and that was easier for me. This black and white pendulum was going to be more difficult, is the fact that it's going to require me to focus. It's going to like actually require me to step into my magician shoes, which requires me to focus, which requires me to write things down and really be deliberate in it. Be a conduit of transformation for others. Receive divine light from the unseen realms, shape it into form, then give it away. So that is pretty cool because I knew these pendulums were different. I really did, but I couldn't really put my finger on it exactly. But now that like the apple and plantain have clued me in that the green adventuring copper pendulum is more collective and general and like for everyone, that's easier for me. And same thing, that's how I do my tarot readings too. Like, it's collective, it's general, it's easy. What's more of a challenge is like doing personalized readings, doing specifically for one person, giving all my energy to one person. Like, I'd rather always do collective readings. They're so much easier. Or enjoyable. I don't know what word I'm looking for. And the difference with this black and white pendulum is that, I'm going to want to take more of a deliberate intensiveness with that, writing down, using the power of written word, using paper for my questions or topics or people when I do an energy read. Maybe this black and white pendulum would be better for like map dowsing too. Just guessing there because that has to do with paper. But this black and white pendulum then could also be used more for manifestation. Good enough for that segment. I feel hungry. Hold on, I need to holler at my roommate. Aiden, are you hungry? Like want to make some fries and I'll do up a salad?
I'm making rice.
Oh, you're making rice?
I'm making rice and Indian food.
Okay.
We can do that too. I'd love some fries. I'm gonna do those.
It's up to you, whether an hour later or something.
It'll be like an hour till we eat.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, just letting my stomach know at some point I will feed it. All right, so that is pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. There's the apple. There's cattail and sunflower. Good deal. All right. Oh, I love it. Okay, what's our next question? How to deepen my connection to the pendulum. All right. So that's also why I'm reading this book. Hold on, let me hit record. I don't want to talk without recording for my podcast. All right, so that was really interesting. Now the next question the fourth question, third and fourth question, we're gonna do general for both pendulums. The third question that you're gonna pull for your pendulum today is more for you than your pendulum. It's how to deepen your connection to the pendulum. Okay, so I think we can pull one card for each of these. Although part of me is like, yeah, but like, do you see how they're different? Like maybe each one needs their own freaking card. Because it's like this one for the general collective, maybe that's a different advice how to deepen the connection to that pendulum. Obviously, this black and white pendulum, I would think it would want you to be writing or focusing. And maybe like the apple and plantain green adventuring side would be like open your heart. Should we pull two more? Should we pull each card for each? I feel like that's where it's going. But before I do that, I just want to say that like, you know, how to deepen my connection to the pendulum. That's why I'm reading this book. So if you have any good pendulum book references that you want to, any newer pendulum books, why don't you clue me in on it? Because this one was 1977. It has 15 chapters, and I'm going to just read you the chapter names because I know you're a nerd like me. And so I'm deepening my connection to the pendulum through this book, Pendulum Power. First chapter is like, what is the pendulum? Then it goes into Jacob's Rod, the mysterious origins, why the pendulum works, making your own pendulum, how to use the pendulum. And then it says romantic radiesthesia. Radiesthesia is what the science of pendulum is called. Like they consider this more of a science because it's like pretty much like electromagnetic, like it is what it is. So when you learn the pendulum, like it's not as woo-woo as some other forms of divination. Like it really is just like pretty straightforward. True stories of pendulum power. It talked about how the military has used pendulums and all kinds of like crazy ass stories where like they found missing people and they found underground bunkers, all kinds of crazy shit. Chapter 8 is the pendulum, your work and your career. Now that's as far as I've gotten. So the rest of the book I have to look forward to. The pendulum, door to the infinite, exploring the hidden powers of your mind, the pendulum and dynamic self-healing, becoming the master of your own house, super pendulum, the pendulum by day and by night, and visions of the future. So that's another way I'm deepening by studying and reading. But I want to pull a card now for each of my pendulums because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. So with this green adventuring that came in with the apple to represent its energy and plantain, that gave me a little insight of something to learn about this pendulum. Together they showed me this is a pendulum that I should use for collective readings for my community. So this card just flipped out on its side to say how to deepen my connection to this pendulum. It is pomegranate. Now, pomegranate is always the fruit that makes me think of the underworld and going into my deep space. And maybe I was going to say chakras, but like lower chakras. Also, yeah, definitely underworld stuff, maybe some shadow stuff. It's the 9 of air, which is interesting because apple was the 9 of earth. So we've got 2 9s now with this pendulum. And I'm in the wrong book. I thought I was grabbing the guidebook, but I grabbed the pendulum book. Are you fucking kidding me? My mother just called and fucking stopped my recording. I love her so much, but seriously, I'm gonna need to have people quit sabotaging my podcast. All right, let's see. Where did I cut off? 9 of air. All right, let me send my mom a text. Recording my podcast, period. Can I call you back later? Question mark. I gotta watch. I'm like a hop, skip, and a jump away from the full moon. I gotta watch me today. All right, so let's see here. We've got, now I have to see where it cut me off. I was rambling there, and I don't know when it stopped. All right, let's go to the last segment here. Right before, what was I talking about? Visions of the future. So that's another way I'm deepening, by studying and reading. But I want to pull a card now for each of my pendulums because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. So with this pendulum that I should use for collective readings for my community. So this card just flipped out on its side to say how to deepen my connection to this pendulum. It is pomegranate. Now, pomegranate is always the fruit that makes me think of the underworld and going. Okay, that is where it cut me off. Okay. All right, interrupt for a phone call. Yes, the pomegranate, the fruit of the underworld, and going in the darkness, whether that be your darkness or the mystery or, yeah, it makes me think of the underworld. Okay, so it is the 9 of air, and apple was 9 of earth. So we've got 2 9s with this green adventuring copper pendulum. Now, pomegranate in the guidebook says, no love, no grief, like KNOW. So how to deepen my connection to this pendulum? Really know my feelings. Know what love feels like. Know what grief feels like. Claim your underworld crown. You are the sky. Everything else is the weather. So yeah, it's like feel your feelings, don't hurry your feelings, especially the dark ones. Don't hurry your grief. You know, these shattering experiences, live through them and then still stand proud. Invite in forgiveness, know your feelings, let go of what you cannot control. But how to deepen this connection to this pendulum is like I was feeling, like through my heart space, through my feeling center, because this is a collective pendulum. So even though like the collective consciousness, or just think of humanity in general, we're very different. Everybody's so fucking different in the way that they think. But when you reduce humanity down to its similarities, the thing that we all have in common are our feelings. So if I want to deepen my connection to this pendulum of the collective, then the way I do that is through deepening my feelings and knowing my feelings, and thus I will deepen my connection to this pendulum specifically. All right, very good. So let's move over here to this black and white granite pendulum, the one that is more for the magician, more for manifestation, focusing, using writing, taking your intentions and the power of the pendulum, and really putting it into work and really putting it into next level shit. How to deepen my connection to the black and white pendulum on the silver string, the one we have on the right. Okay. Interesting. I grabbed the deck on its side too. I'm shuffling the deck different for this question. Let me see. Why am I doing that? I don't know, because this pendulum and deepening my connection to this pendulum will require me to do something different. Maybe something that's not quite comfortable but still doable, and it's going to show me something. So all right, so what came in with this now, how to deepen my connection to the pendulum, it's the Fool. It is reversed, it's Dandelion, and so that tells me that how to deepen my connection to this pendulum, yeah, like I was just saying before I pulled this card, doing new things, doing it different. Okay, so that's not how you always do it, but it wants to show you something. The sunflower, the magician, is like, you know, the energy of this pendulum is going to help you unleash your magic. How to deepen your connection to this black and white pendulum? By following your dream seeds, by being audacious in your adventures, by seeking wisdom in the weeds, by keeping your mind open, by being willing to experience life as a beginner, by being a pioneer. It might not be easy. Dandelion is reversed, but that's what it's going to take to deepen my relationship to the black and white granite pendulum. I have to really be adventurous. Whew, really be like Dandelion too, and like, you know, I'm ready to manifest no matter where I am or what I think I have ever known. I have to realize that the world is full of adventure, and like the 90 Arcturian Council said today, like we can't even imagine. Our minds are not even worth like we can't even imagine things that we're going to actually experience. And what was that weird thing that they were saying today? It's like, it was saying that like, I'm going to have to go back and read it, but like, I mean, I already read it and said it, but it was something like, we are here to go beyond the capabilities of our mind. And I was like, whoa, dude. Did you catch that today? If you didn't listen to Jumping Timelines, the podcast from today from Dan Scran, tell me what you think, because that was pretty incredible, actually. All right, so anyways, how to deepen my connection to this black and white pendulum. Get ready to act the fool. Get ready to try it a different way, like you've never done before. Be adventurous. Know that there's lots of different ways to do things. This is probably going to require me to do stuff that's out of my comfort zone or what I'm used to, but that's what it's going to take to really deepen my connection to the black and white pendulum. All right, good. Okie doke, you guys. This is way cooler than I freaking thought it was gonna be. I am so glad I'm doing both the pendulums and pulling cards for each one, because they are 100% different in their energy, for sure. All right, last card is just for us, so the last card that you pull is just going to be for you. All right, we are at the last card already for this 4-card tarot spread by Emerald Lotus Divination, connecting to your pendulum. This is a tarot spread for dowsing. So we pulled each of the pendulums today, a card to represent the pendulum's energy, and then one to learn about the pendulum. And then we also decided to pull each of the pendulums a third card, how to deepen our connection to that pendulum. So hopefully you got something cool. I literally was just saying to myself that this is way cooler than I thought it was going to be. And I'm so glad that I pulled separate cards for each pendulum because they really are different. And I knew they were different. And now I'm like, yeah, they really freaking are. But this fourth and final card is, we're just going to pull one because it's for you. How can I improve my intuitive abilities? So I think we can get away with just pulling one more card. Just kind of like a send you off with a little treat bag. This was a pretty good insight for the pendulums. I hope you enjoyed reading cards for your pendulum. Now we're just going to top it off with a little sugar. How can I improve my intuitive abilities? I am really enjoying the fact that, like, I kind of was already knowing that these pendulums were different, and I knew right away what these cards meant in a lot of ways. Had to look up the cattail because I didn't remember that one. But, you know, once I saw the apple and plantain, I knew that that pendulum was for everyone. You know, I really, really did. And then the magician card for the black and white one, you know, you start to use your intuitive abilities, obviously, by pulling cards. Now let's pull a card to see what else we can do to improve our intuitive abilities. I mean, I just want to be Captain Obvious and say, like, you know, obviously working with pendulums, I think that's a way to improve your intuitive abilities. Reading cards without using the guidebook right away. Oh, I love the guidebook. You know, the nerd in me loves guidebooks. But, like, before you automatically reach for the guidebook, sit and hear your own messages. Receive what you can first, and then see what the guidebook has to offer you with synchronicities and insight. But certainly use yourself first. Okay, so as I'm shuffling, I pull a card. How can I improve my intuitive abilities? I got Borage, the 6 of Water. And now she is reversed. She is reversed. Maybe I'll put her up here. She is reversed. I love the little lady. I feel like her being reversed is certainly like a message to let hang and go with the flow and let go, and almost a little hanged person energy bit. Like, hey, how do you improve your intuitive abilities? Don't think that you know for sure. Be open to, like, anything coming in. Really be, like, flexible and, like, just, it's like the mind wants to see this card upright. It wants to see the table. It wants to see the lake and the trees and the statue and the wine glasses. When it's reversed, it doesn't really make much sense. It's just more like colors, like green and lilac and white. And, you know, you see lines and shading and dark parts in the picture and then light up top, but it doesn't really form it into a solid form when it's reversed. And so that's actually a trick that artists and people learning to draw do. Like, they'll take, like, a coloring page with just lines and they turn it upside down. And so instead of drawing like a picture of Minnie Mouse, the brain isn't thinking about Minnie Mouse, and instead it's just drawing the lines. So your brain might say, well, I don't know how to draw Minnie Mouse. Well, when you turn a picture upside down and just start focusing on lines, not form, not, you know, putting a label on it, you can actually draw the picture better upside down when you're not thinking about what it even is. Okay, so how can I improve my intuitive abilities? Yeah, removing a lot of the programming, the way we give everything a definition. We give everything of this is what it is, that's a table, that's a tree, that's a flower. Like, quit being such a brain. Improve your intuitive abilities by getting out of the logical mind and just being more open and fluid. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to move on to the guidebook to see what it has to offer past my first take. Now, Borage says celebrate milestones old and new. Freely give, freely receive. Let your heart be comforted by the company of friends. So, how can I improve my intuitive abilities? Embrace a carefree attitude and watch your joy expand. Let old tensions be dissolved and replaced by love. Lighten the mood, inspire a courageous heart. Give freely without expecting anything in return. So yeah, this is a lot about friendships and stuff. So maybe like practice your intuitive abilities by just bouncing like, hey, I just have been thinking about this song, and you tell a friend and they're like, oh my God, like I love that song. Like, just say what's coming in to like your circle of close friends or someone that can handle you being weird, and let them know just what intuitive messages you've been getting so that you can play off of each other and encourage each other to keep on bringing in messages. Celebrate your intuitive milestones. I think that's fun, you know, like what, even if it's past due, like when you're like, oh my God, like I was thinking that might be, but I didn't realize it until after the fact. At least give yourself a little good job for almost picking up on that energy. And then when you do totally call something or pick up on energy or give the right advice, really notice it. Be like, you know what? I really am making leaps and bounds with my intuitive abilities. Now, borage is one of those flowers that's perfect to grow in your garden and eat while you're standing outside. So I just also want to add that, like, you know, connecting with nature, it's always, and connecting with the herbs is always a good way. You are what you eat. So eat more plants, eat more herbs, bring that very alive energy into your body so that you can be a good conduit and vessel for receiving energies. Yo, thank you, Borage. All right, so that's about it. I just got to do the outro, and I'm ready to go make a salad or something. Oh, and call my mom back for sure. Yeah, I might need to do that whole like do not disturb thing. My mom back for sure. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, I might need to do that whole like do not. Just check in the chat. Kelly was like, "Can I ask a question?" But I think Kelly's like come and gone. That was an old message. Hi, Xenia. So anyways, this was a tarot spread for pendulums. So I do hope, oh my God, look, this is like looking so snaky over here. I do hope that like if you do have a pendulum, you get to know it. Maybe use this spread again. This spread was by Emerald Lotus Divination. And yeah, ask some questions about your divination tools. And I would be super curious what you got, you know. All right, let me do my outro. All right, yeehaw. Thanks for hanging out for another Tarot Tuesday Tarot at Ho. I hope you enjoyed asking your pendulum questions, or if you don't have a pendulum, I hope you enjoyed listening to me ask questions to mine. This is a great spread for getting to know your divination tools and anything that you use for dowsing and pendulums. And I'm really excited now to work with the green adventuring pendulum with the copper. I'm excited to like get more in touch with my feelings and utilize that for collective readings. And that black and white granite pendulum on the silver that came in with the Magician and the Six of Air and Cattail and the Fool, like get ready, because that's where we got to go, girl. We got to start connecting with that as soon as we get our mind ready to focus. And how do we improve our intuitive abilities? Ironically, it is getting out of our minds, being really, really open to just whatever comes in, and being open to seeing things in a brand new way that might really not make sense to anybody but us, but that's okay. You're allowed to work in any way that works for you. All right, on that note, you guys, thanks so much. And thanks again to Emerald Lotus Divination for the Connecting to Your Pendulum Tarot spread. Damn, I'm hungry. Anyways, I'm going to go feast. Emerald Lotus, that lady has made so many awesome tarot spreads. It is amazing. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure that all my segments are there. It seems like it. We got the affirmation minute for oregano. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll record it because I freaking hate doing the power-ups. But tomorrow, I'm supposed to be powering up quickening, whatever that means. Oh, I know what that means. That means me being focused on my spiritual journey helps you quicken and focus and keep pace with yours. So let's inspire each other for transformation. Oh yeah, empowering up communication. That's a big old freaking goal of mine. All right, on that note, you guys, thanks for hanging out. These cards are so freaking pretty. And aren't my pendulums so pretty? Maybe at some point we will do pendulum readings on here. We'll see. I'm just trying to gather and find and see who's interested in live streams or not. But yeah, I would say the more that I work with pendulums, I would definitely say at some point we'll be doing pendulum readings on here. All right, you guys, so much love. Thanks for saying hi, and I'll see you again soon.